Okay, you're all set.
Yep.
I love you.
Thank you. I
Be
love you
careful.
Welcome back to another New England Formula V SCCA race. We are going racing at night at Thompson Motor Speedway. The New England region is the only region in the country that has a regular night race, and it's interesting to say the least. I've done it a few years, and I could go without it. It looks neat when you're watching. From the driver's point of view, the track's not lit very well, and especially this year in particularly, the rain lights that we had because of the new SCCA rule are just absolutely blinding. So we're about to go green here. Second gear start, slow start. I'm on pole. Luckily, we won the earlier race in the day, which put me in first position for the last race. And we have a really new and interesting perspective here from Chase Johnson. He gave me his video, so we put it in the bottom left-hand corner for your viewing pleasure. And as you can see in his video already, the rain lights are just absolutely blinding. They're way too bright. It's a new rule that the SCCA put in this year that requires us to run FIA-rated rain lights that are really designed for Formula One cars. I agree that the rule needed to be updated, but this is just ridiculous. Expensive $200 lights that will blind you while you're driving behind them. And of course, to be fair, they are designed to be used during the day in rain. But I think they're a little over the top. We need to do something for next year. We can't have this night race with these lights next year. A lot of people were complaining. There's already a big discussion going on about it. So we get out to an early lead from pole position. But don't worry, I'm not going to get away. These guys are going to hang with me the whole time. It's a quick 12-minute race. So very fast sprint race. You don't want to be in second place here. They could throw caution at any time. The race could end early. You can see the two behind me going side by side into turn one. I like that. Thanks, guys. Give me a gap. I'll take it. A slight bobble going into turn three there. Might have lost a tiny bit of time, but we're okay. We're also back to the side view instead of the overhead view with my GoPro, which I much prefer. I like seeing my hands, the dash, and my mirrors to get a better perspective of what's going on out there. So I had a little bit of a gap, but in Formula V, the draft is strong. So here comes Chase. Flying up the inside. Yeah, he decides to... Well, he brakes a little bit more than I did, but I gave him plenty of room on the inside. I knew he was there. Gonna blind him with my FIA-rated rain light. try to hold him back. And you can see my dash, those red lights at the top. They're predictive lap timing lights, so it's a micron 5. Each light is a tenth of a second, so red means slower, green means faster. Because we went side by side in turn 1, we're running more than a half a second slower than our last lap. And that's set up for the fastest lap of the session. Not last lap necessarily, but the last lap was the fastest lap, so that's what it's measuring off of right now. So you can check those lights out as we go around. They're not shift lights. People, you can set it up to be shift lights. People often confuse those for shift lights in my car. you'll see at the start finish line they'll reset to 0. Here comes Chase again with a run on the outside. I'm protecting the inside, try to prevent a little bit of the run, but and Kevin O'Day with the massive run, the 2-car draft from way back. Oh boy, we got close there. I was trying to leave a room that was a little closer than I remember in the cockpit, but so I had to back out of it, and of course he had the big run, so he goes to the lead. Good job, Kevin. Kevin was running amazing all weekend. I really had to fight him. That car is hooked up. You can see that red light, just the bloom of it is incredible, and on your visor, especially at night here, it just makes everything look red, and you can't see the car. It's almost just like in this video. You can't see the car. You can barely see the apex or the corner, especially going into turn 1 where it was a little darker. It wasn't lit up as well. It was rough. It was really difficult looking at these things, but Kevin's light was right at the right height to just blind you. So I want no part of that. I'll go back by. Thanks, Kevin. Thanks for letting me by. I don't want to stare at your light anymore. So speaking of the Micron, it's nice to be able to see the dash. The top left side is my oil temperature. Right now we're running 189. The middle number is the gear. The Micron just automatically calculates what gear you're in. Not that that's important in Formula V at all, but it just happens to be there. The right top is mile per hour. Again, not very important. I never look at it, but people often ask how fast you're going, and I should probably shut it off because it's embarrassingly slow. But it's there. What is the bottom left? I don't remember. I think the bottom left is how many laps you've done, possibly. And then the bottom right is a predictive lap time number. Here comes Chase on the straightaway again. You can see in the bottom left-hand video. He's got the run. I'm staying all the way to the right. I know it's coming. And Kevin again, we're going 3 wide into turn 1. Chase backs out of it wisely. And you might have heard a little noise from the cockpit there. I can see in my mirrors at this point that all this 3 wide action and our slower lap times are letting, there's 2 cars coming up behind us, so we're a pack of 3 that have kind of broken away from the rest of the field immediately off the start. And there's 2 more cars that are coming up behind us, and one of them is Nick Gallardi in his new Protoform. And he has always been a rocket ship. He's a very fast driver. He doesn't get out as much as he used to, but his new car, he's still getting used to it. So I expect great things from him. And I'm worried that because he's catching us, those great things might be happening tonight. So I'm a little upset. We're gonna keep going side by side, but it's a 12-minute race. It's a street fight out there. You got to be in the lead, basically, to get away from these lights, if anything. So what do you expect? It's Formula V racing. It's very drafty. Here we go again. Kevin driving down the middle of the track. I'll take the inside, especially with this lap car coming up. I really want to be in the lead. You can control the race so much better when passing lap traffic if you're in the lead. So everybody got around that lap car pretty easily without slowing us down very much. So that didn't help me. when passing a lap car, being the leader, you can decide if you're going to pass him fully or if you're going to use him to block everybody. So say you're going into a section of S's like back here in the corner, which lap traffic will play a part in that a little bit later, and I go side by side with a lap car. I could do the lap car's same speed to hold people up behind me, take it easy. Or I could try to sneak past the lap car before the corner. You know, so if the lap car and you were too wide, it'd be very difficult or dangerous for somebody to go 3 wide in a corner like that. But so it's always better to be the leader when you hit lap traffic. It just gives you more options. Again, here we go. Big draft descends on the outside. Chase backs out of it again. And Kevin side by side, leaving plenty of room. Always in control. I mean, anybody can make a mistake, but slowing down a little bit extra in these corners when we're going side by side is not going to make the big difference at the end of this race. A good gap to Kevin, which gives us the maximum draft and the maximum speed at the end of the straightaway. You don't want to be too close to the car ahead of you because you won't be able to draft it for as long and build up as much speed. So again, a little side-by-side action into turn 1. So you can see on the micron we're going, right now we're 4/10 slower this lap than our fastest lap so far this race session. And right now we're just trying to maintain the race, not pushing harder than we need to, because I don't think we're going to run away from these guys behind, and making safe moves, not driving over the limit where I could, you know, get a little sideways, get a little squirrely, and then lose a lot of time. So here's a lap car that's probably going to play a big part in this race. As you can see, I'm going to pass him on the outside into these S's. And Kevin O'Day ends up following me on the outside, but he's going to lose some time. You can see that in the bottom left-hand corner here. So Chase Johnson and Kevin have definitely lost some time on me, and we're coming to the white flag, so this is great. There's a bit of a gap. Kevin is blocking Chase because it's the last lap, and I've got the gap. So now they're going side by side and taking lines that are not as fast into turn 1, which has given me even more of a lead, and I know this. So you can see on my micron now we're going to gain a lot of time this lap. I'm just going to push, break the draft. I don't want them to have the draft coming onto the straightaway at all. And I've definitely had a little bit more in the tank this entire race. Of course, I can drive the car faster if I want to. So we've been maintaining the race. Now we're 3/10 up in the first few corners. Again, trying not to drive over my head or anything, but pushing the car now. And this lap car, I was a little bit concerned about that lap car and where we were going to end up there, but luckily I got by in a good position, and that will probably slow the other drivers down even more. So very easy to get to the line at this point. And you can see we're 3/10 up. I think we're going to end up 4 or 5 tenths up by the end of this lap. So fastest lap of the race right there. 1:23.6, which still is not a very fast lap, but good enough, and very excited to win that race. It was a hard-fought battle. Kevin O'Day was on his game all weekend. Chase Johnson has won many races. He's always there. You just never know in Formula V. The draft plays a big part of it, lap traffic. Anybody can win one of these races. Well, not anybody, but you know, the front pack is it's a coin toss sometimes. So we will take our checkered flag. Thank you very much for that. And we'll head in. Thanks. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And we'll see you at the next one.